everyone else is moving on, or so the feed keeps insisting. Only half of that sentence turns out to be true. You open LinkedIn to check one notification and stay for 20 minutes. A former classmate just made VP. A junior you once mentored is announcing a Series A. Someone from your MBA cohort posts a graduation photo in a cap and gown, captioned onwards and upwards. Post after post. The feed is telling you the same thing. Everyone else is moving on. You know, rationally, that a feed is a highlight reel. Nobody posts the year they lost, the diagnosis, the 6 months they could not get out of bed. But rational knowledge does not stop the small, sinking feeling in your chest, the one that turns everyone else is moving on into an I am not. The last 2 years were supposed to be my runway. An MBA finished at SMU, a new chapter about to open. Instead, something happened that no LinkedIn post could capture, and the plan had to be set down so healing could happen first. If you are reading this, some version of that gap probably belongs to you too. A setback you chose, one you didn't, a circumstance you carry alone, or one everyone can see. The shape is different for everyone. The sentence that runs through your head while you scroll is not everyone else is moving on. So here is the question underneath the scrolling. Is that sentence even true? And if it isn't, what do you do with the feeling it leaves behind? The Dhamma, the law of nature, starts by taking apart the sentence everyone else is moving on, because it is doing 2 jobs at once, and only one of them is true. The first job is description. Other people are, in fact, moving. Careers advance, cohorts graduate, someone always announces something. That part is real. The second job is comparison, the part your mind adds for free. And I am not, and this means something about me. That second part is not a fact about the world. It is a story stitched onto the fact, and it is the only part that actually hurts. This is where anattā, the teaching of non-self, becomes useful. It does not ask you to stop feeling envy or jealousy when you see someone else's win. Those feelings are ordinary, and nearly everyone who has ever compared their life to another's has felt them while reading the same kind of post. What anattā points out is that the feeling, and the sentence everyone else is moving on, are not you. They arise the way weather arises, uninvited, out of causes you did not choose, and like weather, they pass if you let them. The mistake is not feeling envious. The mistake is deciding the feed's verdict is a fact about your worth. Modern psychology arrived at a version of this independently. In Uksini Nevisikum Mentanelia, the psychologist Leon Festinger described social comparison theory. We evaluate ourselves largely by measuring against others, and platforms built entirely around other people's curated milestones will reliably produce upward comparison and its companion feelings, envy and inadequacy. Everyone posting their forward motion, and you concluding you have none, is not a personal flaw. It is what the feed is built to do. Which leaves the real question in your hands, not the algorithms. If everyone else is moving on is not the truth about you, then what is? The teaching's answer, you are what you choose to do next. Not the sentence that shows up uninvited. The action you take once it has passed. The technique for this is called noting, and it is simple enough to use in the middle of a scroll, right at the moment the thought everyone else is moving on appears. First, catch the sentence itself. Stop and name what just happened, silently, in 1 or 2 words, comparing, envy, the story again. Naming is not judging. It is just accurate. Then, feel where it sits in the body. A weight in the chest, a drop in the stomach, heat in the face. Give it a few seconds of honest attention instead of rushing past it or feeding it with more scrolling. Next, remind yourself, plainly, this is a passing mental state, not a verdict. Everyone else is moving on arose because of a cause. A post, a photo, a headline, and it will pass because of the same law that made your setback pass, and your MBA, and this very sentence you're reading. Nothing that arises stays, including the sentence. After that, let your attention return to your breath, or to whatever is actually in front of you, for 3 slow breaths. Not to suppress the feeling, just to stop feeding it your full attention. Finally, choose one small, deliberate action that reflects who you are becoming, not who the feed just made you feel like. Send the message you've been avoiding. Write the paragraph. Close the app and take a walk. It does not need to be large. It needs to be chosen. The sentence will come back. Everyone else is moving on, comes back for almost everyone who has ever built something worth wanting. But it was never a fact, only a feeling wearing a fact's clothes. You are not what the feed says. You are what you do next.